have consistently, at times obsessively, I dare say, been painting with watercolour for 6 years now, and with other mediums for many years before that. But watercolour is definitely my greatest love. So today, while I paint a small portrait with you, I will let you in on what my absolute favourite art supplies for watercolour are and why. By the way, this is Fiona Di Pinto and my channel is called Drawings in a Drawer. The small corner of the internet is a space I hope to turn into a thriving community of art lovers. So welcome if you're new. I am so glad you found me and that I found you. And welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. Thank you so much for being here. And now let's dive right into today's topic. Oh, and by the way, if you think this content might be interesting to you, don't forget to click on that notification bell right below this video so you will be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos. I will be showing you some of the art supplies I'm talking about, probably not all of them, or the editing of this video will take forever and I have to get it out tonight. So let's get right into it. The beautiful round watercolour postcards by Hannah Newley you see me use in this video are a very recent discovery. Too recent for me to put them up there among my favourite art supplies yet, but I just wanted to take a moment to say the paper is excellent quality and the format is so much fun to paint in. I purchased these for €16, which is probably about $18 right now, at my local art store. Unfortunately, I can't say for sure how many cards it contains as the info was on the wrapping and I tossed it before reading. But according to my calculations, it should be 30. That's a lot of cards for €16, considering how expensive watercolour paper can be and that they come in the beautiful tin that you can then repurpose. Okay, I've introduced the Hannah Newley round postcards, but let's get to my favourite art supply, number one, which is a little bit unusual, but it's sketchbooks. Watercolour sketchbooks to be exact, which means they contain 100% cotton watercolour paper. I want to tell you why these are my favourite art supply. It's because they turned around the way I paint. It is so much easier for many of us to paint inside a sketchbook that you can then close and put away. Sketchbooks lead to exploration and experimentation much more than if you approach a painting as a standalone piece on a single sheet of watercolour paper. Even though you might have a precious watercolour sketchbook you love and that was expensive and that you don't want to ruin with what you consider ugly paintings, some of my patrons told me that they very often feel that way. You will eventually crack, believe me, and start painting in it. And from then on, things will begin to snowball. The beautiful thing is that you will be able to flip through it, see your progress, relive the memories, the emotions. So, which brands are my favourite watercolour sketchbooks? The queen of all watercolour sketchbooks to me are the ones made by Koval. That's Koval, a Polish company that make handmade sketchbooks with any kind of watercolour paper. And this one contains my favourite watercolour paper, which I discovered a few months ago. So it's a bit of a two-in-one. The paper is Saunders Waterford cold pressed. This sketchbook was a bit pricey, I think around 80, maybe even €90. I can't remember exactly. But they have many options and formats, so you can surely manage to get something for less, and you can check their website. The prince of all watercolour sketchbooks to me is Bao Hong hot pressed. Also, it's rather cheap, I think around €15 depending on size. They are pretty small though. By the way, I lost a Bao Hong sketchbook I had been working in for months and I just found it again yesterday. So, quick flip through. This sketchbook I thought I'd lost and I found it again. So, it was lying on the floor for some reason in my studio. How did I not see it? How did it get there? Anyway, just super quick flip through. next favourite watercolour art supply are these brushes I buy on Temu. I haven't been able to find them anywhere else up till now. I have been trying to discover who makes them because the name on the handle changes. You saw me showing one saying Mandarin, but there's another one that begins with a Y, and then others with no name, but they are very clearly the same brush. They come in sets of different sizes, and don't come for me in the comments, but they beat my first favourite watercolour brushes, which are, yes, silver black velvet. In a way, they are very similar, but these ones just seem easier to use. They feel less dry, they feel more juicy. I honestly think they have made my paintings better to a certain extent. Again, I would love to discover who the manufacturer actually is. It might be some big brand like Wish or Paul Rubens. I don't know. I'm still trying to find out. Also, they are very cheap. Again, less than €10 for a set of 5 or 6 brushes. I just buy them in batches because they are just beautiful. My next favourite art supply are these huge ceramic watercolour pans by Paul Rubens. They sent them to me, so I can't recall the price. They are single pigments, so it means they are more luminous as colours and pure. And since I got sent a set of 3 primary colours, Chinese red, Prussian blue and lemon yellow, it pushed me to limit my palette, at least till I'm halfway through the painting or towards the end, and then maybe I might add some of my favourite colours. Not always, but most of the time that is what I do. It has really improved my art, so if you haven't limited your palette yet, consider doing so. I definitely reach for these paints very often at the moment. Another go-to art supply is Bleed Proof White by Dr. P.H. Martin. I was introduced to it by one of my patrons, thank you Judy, and it's just perfect to add highlights to the eyes, lips, nose or wherever you want them to be. It's almost more opaque than gouache in a way and has excellent coverage, and the jar will last you at least a couple of years or more. And 2 favourite art supplies are the Mead and Ceramic Palette and the Double Wash Bowl, because the double rinse of the brush is crucial. The first one to get rid of the first layer of paint and the second one to clean it completely. And also having a large mixing area to play around in is just basically like having a paint party. Now you will find discount codes, 12% to be exact, to many Mead supplies in my description box below this video, and more, including my beloved tabletop easel by Mead that I am painting on right now, and that really again has really changed the way I paint with watercolour, because the watercolour flows down and everything is so smooth and beautiful. While I'm at it, I always want to remind you that I have a community over on Patreon where we get together for live sessions, sketching and painting almost on a weekly basis. And if you can't make the lives, no worries, because everything is recorded. There are also many recorded tutorials and a wonderful community. So if you want to join us just for a few dollars or euros every month, you will find all the information in the description box. That is all from me for today. This was a short one. I have something going on, so maybe I'll do a 2-parter. Yeah, it's a kind of shorter video today. Sorry about that. Thank you so very much, everyone, for being here, for your amazing support, and I will see you all next Sunday. Bye for now.